Miami, 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 Miami. It feels like Miami.
Welcome to the MHB Postgame Show. I'm your host, Giancarlo Navas, and with me today, we got the intern, Pablo.
What's up, guys?
We got Saucy Takes Coach Lou.
What is up, everybody?
You know, stuff. We got the great Siobhan,
What's up, people?
not the Heat.
Listen.
While people in chat are alleging that I'm happy, does this look like I want to win? I want to win games. You know, I wanted that Terry home run 3 to go in. You know, I do think that they need probably like a stabilizer, a guard, maybe a connector, a guy that'll make some defensive plays. You know, I think there's a guy in Charlotte that they can try to target at the trade deadline.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll get into that later. But Heat lose to the Hornet Freudian slip there. Heat lose to the Heat lose to the Ja Morantless Memphis Grizzlies and the Marcus Smartless Memphis Grizzlies.
The G League. It's the G League Grizzlies.
The
G
Josh
League.
Smart, the Josh,
Desmond
the Marcus,
Baines,
the Dev,
Steven
the
Adams,
Dylan, the
Brandon
Steven,
Clark, Steven Adams.
I forgot Steven Adams was there.
Might as well say
Oh,
Dylan
no
Brooks.
Desmond Bain as well.
yes.
Oh my
Good
God.
grief.
So, you know, it's funny, Bond, because I feel like every week they have a new entry for worst loss of the season. They just keep dropping singles.
Bro,
Yeah.
this
Yes.
January has been this January. We were not off to a Happy New Year.
I thought
2024 has not been in for the Heat, man.
Holy shit! Are you guys? This is anemic,
bro.
Like this is the worst offense I have seen since Jimmy's been here. This is bad. Like
It's bad.
What is it, like 5 straight under 100-point games?
you know, typically it's like, you know, like they have a game in between where, you know, you see some potential, but like lately it's just straight booty every game. They're just straight. It's
They're
bad.
saving
man.
up for tomorrow.
I didn't know.
Lead
This
us,
is
G.
not what I thought when they meant dry January. It's not what I thought.
This shit is dry as hell for us. Can't find those.
The desert.
Shit's drier than my love life.
They can't even make free throws
man.
anymore. It's bad out here, man.
It's contagious.
Jimmy
Chat
needs
saying
some coffee.
emergency sage. Guys, listen. That's a playoff. That's a late.
It's bad. It's that bad.
It's that bad that
Oh my God.
I've even thought, I was like, do I need to go do this?
Gee, you
But-
might have to.
But that's a late season. You know, we'll wait till after the deadline. I'm sure that hopefully they'll do something else. But guys, I guess we got to start with Terry Rozier, right? So he comes off the bench, and in a kind of the most spo move I've ever seen in my life. Terry comes off the bench. I thought it was like an okay debut for him. I didn't think it was anything special, but obviously you see the areas where he's going to be able to help them. He had 9 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 1 for 5 from 3, 3 for 11 from the field. Put up Kyle Lowry numbers today, but you kind of see, you know, Bond. I'll start with you, then I'll go to Lou and Pablo. But I think you see, like, you know, he had that little crossover move in the fourth quarter on the right wing, right, to get by a guy and get a layup. He had another one where he kind of ran 2-man game with Bam on the pick and roll and got to the rim. That stuff is like, that's what he's here to do. And that manufacturing of baskets is so important to this team because they just don't have enough guys that can do that. So at least you saw a little bit today of, okay, when this stuff gets ironed out, that should work.
Yeah, I agree. You know, there were flashes, there were bits. You saw some of the shot creation stuff. You saw the him being able to get some things for himself and the ease with which he is sometimes able to suck at least some attention and get some of his teammates open. I think that with our kind of just trove of ball handlers, I think they will drill him just on some corner threes, like corner and just very much right above the break type of threes. Just, hey, get in here, get in the machine. Because we saw him drive, kick, relocate, and he got to, some of the left corner spots, with decency. I think coming from Charlotte, a team who LaMelo had been out for so long, right? So all of the on-ball duties were him. And whatever, I don't know what his I know they run a lot of flare actions. I know they run a lot of kind of like split type of things from kind of the high wings. And I don't know how many just kind of wide open kind of catch and shoot looks he found himself to have in Charlotte. So I do think with just kind of our plethora of guys who can initiate, who can facilitate, who can move the ball, I think, he'll find himself more open. And I just think the open catch and shoot looks will be something that, he can kind of drill and hone in and work on. But like I said, you saw bits, you saw flashes. And as they continue to gel, it'll come together. He had a play where he pitched it to Duncan and just wanted to immediately follow his pass and set a screen for Duncan. But Bam streaked up because it was Duncan. So, Bam is always the first crack at the two-man actions with Duncan and just stuff like that. That'll just get, kind of more smooth.
Lou, I see you nodding.
No, yeah, it was an unflashy 3 for 11, I guess. Like the stats don't really, I feel like, the stats aren't really like what you want, but you saw potential. Like he got to the rim.
Chat's saying I look like a foreskin.
Yeah, I mean, if you just did like one of those, I could see
It's that hoodie, man. It's that hoodie.
There
I've
you go.
never
Now
worn this on air. This is the first time I wear this.
It's a nice hoodie, man.
It's all flesh tones.
It's just you just look like a
flesh tones are in
like a flesh.
Yeah, you're fleshy though. Keep going.
No, So Terry, guys, no, but seriously, Rozier, he got to the rim he shot 5 threes. I didn't think he forced anything today. I kind of wish he would a little bit more. I felt like he had some looks that he was just kind of just passing on. But in general, you can see his ability to drive and kick. I thought you can see that from the instant 100%. And his ability to find shooters. He was doing now, granted, either the shooters weren't shooting. Tyler, we need to work on that. He got
he's got to be ready to pull, Lou.
Man,
he gets so many kickouts where he wants to do that little half fake.
Man, fuck the half fake.
He wants a fadeaway.
If the half fake turns into a shot at the bucket, by all means. But if the half fade turns into a contested mid-range jumper, why are we half faking? Just pull the 3 on a closeout. And it's not just Tyler, but several times in general, the Heat were doing that, trying to get they were trying to do too much and get to the rim. Terry too. No discredit, let's not he wasn't perfect today, but you saw his ability to just get downhill, and he didn't really do a good job of finding Bam today. That needs to be, that's going to be something that's going to get ironed out. But I thought he did a very good job finding shooters and hitting people in stride. And defensively, while you saw some of the limitations there, you also saw some peskiness from time to time, him being able to press the 94 feet that the Heat would like, and just his ability to just dig pretty well. Obviously, he's not a lockdown defender. That's not why they brought him here. But, man, that offense is it's going to take a lot more than just Terry Rozier and, to fix it, because they have so many fucking spacing issues. Oh, goodness gracious. That shit, ill. You see the tag? That's literally just the spacing. It's not even our shot making. It's how many times 3 people are sitting on the same block doing nothing. They were just lost. And then they're expecting this new guy to come in and perfectly execute a role, which he hasn't done. And it's just, it needs some time to iron things out. This team needs Kevin Love back because he helps with the spacing. Mm-hmm. They need Jaime back because he helps with some of these relief buckets.
Jaime's return is going to hit like crack in the 80s.
Hell yeah.
Shit.
Whoever thought they'd miss a rookie this
It's not a coincidence our offense turned to absolute dog shit once Jaime Jaquez and Kevin 100%. Love missed some time. Now you can't tell if it's one or the other, because since Kevin's been back, he doesn't look the same. He doesn't look 100%. but like it's
He
crazy.
was bound to cool off, I think, though.
Yeah, he was also bound to cool off, but it's not. He wasn't even shooting like lights out from three. It's just
Right.
the ability to space the floor. This team doesn't have that, especially when Jimmy and Bam are together. Like Jimmy specifically, there was a couple plays where he's trying to post up on the block and somebody gets by their man, and now for no reason Jimmy is down here. I feel like I'm watching Louisville play college basketball again, and it's fucking nasty.
It's been a struggle for Louisville.
Uh,
Interesting team that you picked.
I picked that because I remember watching Donovan Mitchell in college, and it was like
a hooper.
his shot selection's kind of iffy. I'm like, he has two bigs posting up on either block, none of them setting a screen. He's going by three people at a time. Like,
Yeah.
With what I saw with Terry was that little bit he was running the point guard in the fourth quarter, our offense looked great. He was scoring, he was getting to the basket with ease. But when him and Hero are on the court together, I
man.
cannot have Hero be the ball dominant player. It's been seen that when Rozier can kick, we're going to find the shooters. If Hero would buy in to spotting up with Rozier on the floor, not vice versa, I feel like the offense would look a lot better. And with that little bit of time we had Rozier playing the one in the fourth quarter, we were scoring. We made a mini run. I think it got to 97-93 or 94-90 at one point.
When Tyler went to the bench and it was that.
Yeah, when it was
Yeah,
dunking.
exactly.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Yeah,
shit.
That lineup should be the starting lineup.
The one was, and I tweeted that out. I think that the Jimmy, Bam, Duncan, Rozier, and Martin or Highsmith or whoever, like that should be the starting lineup.
Or the closing lineup. It doesn't matter, but they need to
Yeah.
be playing the
No,
most.
it
makes a
matters. No, the starting lineup matters.
Yeah, because
And
they
Jaime's
get
probably
out
going to pull a lot of the closing.
Jaime will
Okay.
finish the game most likely instead of
over Caleb.
Yeah, he will
Yeah.
most likely.
And I thought Caleb played well today. I know I'll be
did.
killing him.
He did. Him and D-Rob played really good in the fourth.
It got me upset, guys, because like they take Duncan out for Tyler, and I thought Duncan was playing a really good fourth quarter. And I know that Tyler hit that big three, but on one end he got fried by Scottie Pippen Jr. And then I keep wanting to call them the Hornets. The Grizzlies put both he and Rozier in a pick and roll. And then I believe it was Jimmy had to come from his corner man to go help aggressively because they set that screen really, really high. And that they were I forgot who was the ball handler. I think it was Scottie Pippen Jr. It's coming downhill hard. And Jimmy or whoever has to come help. They give up a wide open three.
Yep.
And it's like, and I don't think that Duncan is like this stopper, but I just think Duncan's been a lot more solid defensively than
He's
Tyler.
lankier.
Yeah, he's just a little bit bigger, and I just think it's tough. And it's kind of what we were worried about those two guys on the floor together. And I just didn't think that Tyler. I know that Duncan had a really bad game up until the fourth quarter, but I really believe in connectors on good teams, and I think he was just that guy. He gave them that relief bucket from the dotted line. That was a big balls three that he took.
Yeah,
that was a, and he shot it confidently, which Bon, I know you love. I know you love when guys go and like are confident in what they do with purpose, and it made sense. And I know that Tyler helps him on offense, but
does he? But does
time out. Wait,
does
what
he,
is this
man?
comment? I don't know if it's being for real or not, but what is that comment?
Look, I'm
ignoring.
Look,
that.
Tyler, I'm not going to that, but it's not all bad from Tyler. Like, yes,
It's not like
look,
God,
this
damn.
is what I'm trying to get at, people. I'm not trying to say here that Tyler Herro had like he's playing bad. He scored his points, but I'm just saying in the flow of the offense, if he would be more willing to take some of these spot up threes instead of over dribbling to take contested twos, it would in turn make the offense better. Why? Because he has more spacing. More people are going to close out to him. He's one of our best 3-point shooters.
Especially
so why is he not?
Shoots.
Especially in catch and shoots, he's shooting damn near 44%. Like, shoot the fucking three, man. It's not a fact that yes, he was efficient today, 8 for 15. That's cool. All that is cool. It's just the ability. It's how it comes in the offense, and it's.
This process is not there.
Yeah, like him putting the ball on the deck and getting a point or two, that's cool with 6 seconds left on the shot clock.
He had 4 turnovers, was a -9 with 3 assists. He had more turnovers than assists.
Yeah, and that's what I'm getting at. It's just his inability to just process quickly enough when to shoot or when to catch and dribble. It feels like every time he catches a ball, he wants to catch and dribble. He doesn't want to just take what the defense gives him. Sometimes he over dribbles and then stalls out the offense in turn. It's not that, like, stop looking at the box score. Like, come on. Like, if you saw the game, like you saw, and it wasn't just him, but he did it a lot, man.
Yeah.
And it needs to change because
it's also not just a function of what they produce box score wise. It's a function
sure.
of how the rest of the team moves around them, how they juice the rest of the team, and what defenses pay attention to with regards to like chasing people around. People chase Tyler and are cool to send that guard on the chase around the screen, let their big drop, and make Tyler take that like long floater. People are sending that guard around to chase Duncan, but they're also sending and pulling that big, which is what's freeing Bam up, which is what gets Bam a lot of the runway shits. It allows Bam to be the kind of in-between connector between the top of the offense and whatever's happening on the corners and in the wings. It's not just a fucking function of what Tyler does or cannot do or doesn't do. It's the way that the rest of the group moves and corresponds and just relates to the action that Duncan creates. This idea that because people have a different preference for wanting to see the starters get off to a different type of look is not this fucking like indictment of what Tyler can and cannot do. I wish people would get off of that perspective and have a different view of the thing. It's just helping everyone kind of juice better. You get Bam more free. You get him rolling more. You get guys better able to cut, because now that Bam is free in the roll, that's going to force whoever the low man is to help to step up. That allows some of that like backside baseline cutting action. It's not just, oh, Tyler's our best scorer. No, it's how everyone else plays with the guys that they're next to.
There's a reason we went on a run in that fourth quarter when he was on the bench.
But Duncan looked like shit the whole rest of the game. By that time, there was no flow that had been established. It was already chaotic. It was incredibly choppy. So it's difficult to have a rhythm-y guy like Tyler stands to defend better than Tyler Herro, certainly, Jack. But I don't. It's really infuriating that we have to keep reiterating the same points.
Yeah, like she said, we're not trying to trash him at all. It's just like she said,
that would look a lot different. Like
he's not buying
really
in.
Catch some shit, but like
it's not even the buying in part. It's just how much like what he's doing. It doesn't help the offense sometimes, even if it's getting him his own stats. Like that's what we're trying to get at. That's what Bond's trying to get at. Yeah. Duncan doesn't put up the same amount of points, but you can just see it just runs better because when he motions, it's with a purpose, and everything, the gravity he attracts from that is one that just opens up the floor for everybody else. And it seems like that's the thing every single game. Duncan was +3 today, and like he shot like absolute, like he wasn't good until the fourth quarter, and he was still +3.
But
like,
his movement still like
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
exactly.
His gravity is
teams
so
keep
good there.
It's still a fire drill when he comes off the screen.
Yes.
To your point, there's something, as I've said many times, I play fighting games competitively, and there's this concept called conditioning where, let's say I hit you with a sweeping low move, over and over again. You're eventually going to start looking out for that sweeping low move. And once you start guarding low is when I've conditioned you and I hit you with the overhead. That's when I get like my big meaty combos. What the Heat don't do when Tyler is kind of playing that his kind of offensive style is they're just getting baskets because, you're going to get to 80, 90 points in an NBA game. That's not conditioning your opponent to take away anything from you. They just say, okay, fine, you can have that. Like, I don't care.
Yes,
right?
Keep beating us with these long runners. Just keep doing the whole game.
Exactly.
As opposed to like when Duncan comes off a screen, teams still send two, teams still switch. Teams react to that in a way that would show you that we are concerned about that being established, right? As opposed to the other stuff. So it's why, like, Herro comes, he's playing with Rozier, and Rozier's the one that is playing off the ball. And that was pretty evident early on. And we're all shaking our heads because it shouldn't be that way, because Tyler has the skill set. Rozier's not a good catch and shoot shooter. He
hasn't been this year.
Yeah, he's had some seasons in the past, but he's like shooting like 33% or something this season. Like, it's not
He was
like
at like 44.
And
He's at
Tyler is an elite
30%.
catch and shoot guy. He's an elite mover without the ball. Tyler's a very, very good screener. So it's like I think that we can.
Ooh, when he
I think
wants
he's
to
a good.
be.
I think he's a good off-ball screener, like screen and flare.
I
Maybe he
just-
doesn't set solid picks, but he moves well after the screen.
He's a
When
good
he-
off-ball player
Yes,
when he wants to
when he
be.
does it. You know what I mean?
moves well after the screen. I give you that.
Yeah, and that's what I guess in screening, like with him, that's what I mean because he's a twig,
got
right?
you.
So it's and they need to unlock that element of their game because without that, they're so often somebody attacks a closeout and nobody's respecting anything on the outside because there's not enough movement. And like you saw Rozier, how many times, Bond, did you see him attack a hard closeout, take 3 dribbles, and then those 2 guys, the guy at the nail and the low man, step up, and Rozier has to pass out of that, which he should be taking that pull up, but that's another conversation.
Yeah.
But that's a product of like these teams are like, we are just gonna that help at the nail and that help on the baseline. I don't care because they're not running hammer. They're not doing any movement on the perimeter that we have to be concerned with. So it makes defending them so easy.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. Absolutely. And
I have
like to the conditioning point, even like when the dunking things happen. So even when a team decides that okay, we're taking away the Duncan handoff, we're taking away that 3 from them. Your reaction to not being conditioned or whatever is okay. So now I'm sending the 2, but we have things that we can get to once a defense counters to however they decide they're going to try to defend Duncan, especially in the 2-man actions. Like you said, there is no adjusting with Tyler and his ball screen actions. They just beat us doing this the whole game. Tyler can get what he wants. You're like you said, you're not running anything on the sides. You're not running anything on the baseline. Bam isn't involved really because they're just sitting there on him. Like
I don't know if you guys saw in the first quarter, but for like the first 3 minutes, all I saw was Josh and Highsmith on the same corner with a Herro with the ball on the
Yes,
right wing.
I know exactly.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
And I was just questioning why was that the offensive set? Why do you have 2 like shooters on the same corner?
2
and
bad shooters.
So Highsmith is a little bit better than Josh, but
trying to get like some fake empty side action.
Yeah.
And it wasn't
But-
working.
No.
It wasn't
And the way
working.
that works is when like they run like the guy on the wing screens for the guy in the corner, and then there's movement or the other way around, right? Like you get, even if they're not great shooters, because Miami used to do that with like so shooters, and it worked because you're also worried about that baseline cut, especially when the other corner is empty, so there is no weak side help, and it's just a ball handler opposite. So it's like there's no threat. Nobody's scared of it, so it's easy and simplified, and you can get in the paint and and then just kind of wait them out, and really it's kind of frustrating because I think part of this is on Spo, part of this is on the players, and I know it's on, and that's why I tweeted the other day. I go, the symptoms that are plaguing this team, that's everything from Mickey to Spo to Orlando Robinson. Like everybody is accountable. And that's what the Heat preach, and it's really on everybody. I don't know why Orlando caught a stray there, but my bad, dog.
Like the Milwaukee laundry man.
Can we also, like, I know Bam was phenomenal today. Everything aside from scoring.
Yeah.
Let me just say
15
that.
boards, 6 blocks. He had
But-
like 7 assists.
But it's not to nitpick, but man, offensively, he needs some assistance, man. He
4
needs
for
to get that
13
up
is
more.
I'm sorry, and I think we should hold him if we're gonna talk about him as a top 25 player.
Yes.
4 for 13, not
Isn't
good
good
enough.
enough.
Brother.
It's not
You're
good
shooting
enough.
66% at the rim. You're better than that. Not good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is it was an interesting stat that I was looking at yesterday with Frankie after the stream. Was this is Bam's like the percentage of his field goal mades or free throw attempts. This is the most he's gotten it on his own throughout his whole career.
Unassisted.
Yeah, unassisted shot attempts, unassisted points, unassisted free throw attempts. This is the most he's ever done, and it's by damn near 10% more than it was just 4 years ago. We need to recapture some of that in our offense. we need to recapture not Bam having to do everything offensively, because some of these contested mid-range, like, let's face it, man, he's not a good enough a mid-range shooter to, like, bail out like that. That's like,
He's
we
like
have a lot of,
he's an okay mid-range shooter.
and that's
Who takes a
cool.
lot. Yeah.
That's cool if he was the only one, but we have a lot of guys who operate in that fucking area.
And by the way, he's shooting worse from mid-range than he did last season, and worse from mid-range than he did 2 seasons ago with increased volume.
What is he, like 40%? I think
40,
I saw it.
He's at 43.
Yeah, exactly. Like 43 is not good enough.
He was good last year. He was at 40, almost pretty much 47, which is really above average. But
yeah, it's still just like him getting to the rim, him getting set up to get to the rim more, or him getting, like, I really liked towards the end of the game where they were just running him kind of how they did in that Milwaukee closeout game, like at the middle of the floor. Like, I keep saying this, Bam in the middle of the floor, and just have 2 and 2, like 2x2 sets, and have him come up, flare screen, back doors, like all that stuff. Like, all that is cool. But at some point, one of these people, somebody on this damn team, has to get Bam the ball where he just has to do nothing except for put the ball in the basket. And, we talked, Rozier looked like he can help him do that with some of the attention he was garnering. Obviously, it's going to take some time, but at least I feel like that's a step in the right direction. Because, man, it was he needs some easy baskets. That's what he needs, man. Because it's rough out there for him.
It's rough. Their half court offense is bad, and I think, like, they need guys that are gonna kind of fill those gaps for them, move the ball. And it's why, like, I miss PJ on offense a lot too, because while he really struggled late, he was, Vaughn, he kind of great in between game, mover, great screener, very active. And you don't think of him as like a guy who moves off ball a lot, but he was, right? The kind of little hammer screen and roll, all that stuff. So, hopefully Jaime can come back in the lineup and give them some of that. Kevin Love was doing a lot of that, and you missed that in the second half today. I hope that Rozier, in kind of an elevated role, kind of helps Tyler do some of that, and also moves Caleb to also kind of get back to kind of just attacking bent defenses and doing what he does best. No, and chat's saying we got to get to Jimmy. We've been on Jimmy all year.
Yeah.
And I think we have been super on Jimmy all year, and to the point that I've said, and Tiffany has said, that, at least us, I know some others have also, but, like, I'm not so sure this is like cruise control mode. I think something's going on with him. Again, he was blocked at the rim today from behind. When does Jimmy get blocked from behind? Shooting 56% at the rim. That is in the 22nd percentile. I keep bringing that number up because it's alarming. He doesn't look right on defense. I thought today he looked better on defense.
Yes.
But, today I thought today was one of the first times where I was like, okay, I recognize that guy defensively. He was active, getting deflections.
I think it's his ankle. From last season.
I think it's 34.
That too. His age and the ankle. That's what I think is what's making him look the way he looks right now.
Like,
he's fucking tired. Like, man, it's hard to be like, I know people don't want to do like the whole body language thing, but like, this group has been around each other for a long time. For as much success as they have had, they've had to go about it, doing it this like incredibly difficult way. There are always the same issues or the same stories with regards to like fit and all of those things. And they see it, they know it, they feel it themselves. Like I think it's a combination of age coming, or like age being a thing, probably still some of the ankle, and probably just like a general kind of annoyance and just like an energetic atrophy, to where it's just, I don't know, it's a lot of things I feel kind of coming to a head for Jimmy. I definitely don't think it's the like he doesn't care, but there's just, I think, kind of so many other things, wanting the other two kind of younger horses on the team to, fill out into themselves and really kind of help carry it. And I honestly think it's a lot.
I'm not. So I'm just concerned about kind of the health and the age and just the stuff, the athleticism to me that looks super diminished. And I do think that part of it is he's on cruise control up until whatever March, whenever he decides that he's gonna, and then he'll try. but I just think that whatever version of him that shows up in the playoffs, it's going to be elevated. And my question has always been, is it going to be enough? Because I think it's going to be elevated, but I don't know if it's going to be Michael Jordan again. And if it's not, they have problems because he was the elixir to everything that ailed their offense because they had good, we talked about it a lot. They had good process. They were getting good shots. They were just not making shots. But if somebody all of a sudden is attacking, getting you guys in a rhythm, there was a play. So like they always give passes like to fucking people's ankles. You know what I mean?
Yes.
This is actually not a team that has a lot of good passers. And
Correct.
there was a play that Bam, I believe it was in transition, hit Caleb perfect in the hands in the corner. It was one beautiful pass. Caleb goes up, and a second he went up, I was like, that one's going in because it was just so in rhythm.
It was a beautiful pass.
You know, Lou, you know exactly the play
It was
I'm
in like the top right corner. It was like a damn near real good skip. Yeah.
It was on like a semi-fast break, and he just hit him, and it was beautiful. And I was like, oh my goodness! Like literally after the whole game of like passes, like a little low, a little left, a little right, a little high. Oh yeah, just a little not good enough, and a little good not good enough turns into very bad offense every time. That one, I was like, I was like, fine, like literally, I got up off my couch. I was like, yes.
Let's fucking go.
I'm so glad that we felt the same way about that because I was like, they just don't do that enough.
Mm-hmm.
I miss Dwayne Wade, man. Dwayne Wade always hit mother.
Everyone misses D Wade, bro.
Miss Goran. Like
Gogi was guilty of that too, bro. I remember Gogi be giving Hassan passes at his ankles. I was like, bro, what are you doing?
It's heat culture, baby.
It was
heat
culture too, you know. That's
like they've all done that, but you know, and I think Bam's, you know, Nikias asked the question the other day, like, who's the best passer on the team? And it's Bam, and that's
bad.
Like, that's an unsettling
really bad.
answer.
That's bad.
Not that Bam's a bad passer.
He shouldn't be your best passer.
He shouldn't.
That's all.
He is our center, not our point guard.
I thought Terry wasn't bad today in terms of passing. I thought he got a little, you know, doesn't know the system sometimes, and like tried some things he probably like just like some placement things with some players. But I mean, obviously he's never been like an elite passer, so I don't expect it to.
Well, you guys surprised that he got benched at the end, and then they brought him back. They sat him like the last like minute or two. That surprised me.
Who, Terry?
Yeah, Terry.
Because who did they bring in for him? Because they brought Tyler in for Haywood.
I was more shocked Duncan got benched. To keep
it but that felt political.
Man, you know.
Hey, we didn't see Josh Richardson tonight in the fourth, though.
Respectfully, fuck politics. Respectfully.
I'm so sick of it.
Like honestly, like why are we not playing the people who are?
I'm so sick of it.
Yeah, like I don't understand. Why are we playing people that don't? Yeah,
Pablo's right. No, Josh Richardson fourth quarter minutes. That's a win.
Yeah, Richardson. It's funny because Richardson wasn't bad today. He barely played. Like,
I thought this was the best game Josh has played in a long time. But that's fine. That's a fine role for him today.
I'm curious. Just once Jaime returns, like, what are these minutes going to look like? Because
better.
I
mean, obviously better, but like, who's getting a?
Caleb gets a reduction. I think Tyler gets a reduction.
I think
what's interesting is I talked about Royal had a space today, and
didn't Royal have a space in the middle of the game? I was
like, I think they do like a halftime.
They do a halftime. They do a halftime.
I was like, this is so good. God damn, bro, you fucking.
He had a pecking order space today, and I don't know that enough or a lot of people feel this way. I genuinely feel like Jaime's play really, really does sort and put some shit into like its rightful places.
It
just
categorizes
by way of,
everything.
It stratifies things for me just by the way that where he operates from, how aggressive he is with it, but also kind of how efficient he is with it. And when Tyler first came back, Jaime and Tyler like had however X amount of minutes together that they had. A few games thereafter, Spo did something where I feel like Tyler sat for a very long time, one of those following games, and it was a lot of like Jaime being able to be on ball. And I don't know that persists, but I think that I think that there's a blueprint for that to kind of persist. So I do think when Jaime gets back, I think Caleb sees some reduction. I think Tyler's minutes see a bit of a reduction, or at least they're grouped differently. And I don't know whoever else at that point, but like Jaime's going to get his fourth quarter minutes. Jaime should get the minutes within the flow of the first 3 quarters that his game kind of rightfully, honestly deserves as a 22-year-old rookie on a team with championship level aspirations.
Yep.
As wild as all of that is.
He needs to be high as fuck on this pecking order if we want this.
All of the ways that people say that like a passive Jimmy fucks up the roles, and like people don't know how to move when Jimmy's passive. Like Jaime does those things that help like make things clearer the way that you'd expect Jimmy to do.
The stuff is also he operates in spots on the floor where they don't, right? So kind of that mid post area, he's so good. And again, they need those areas where he can manufacture half court offense. It's the stuff in transition. He's still the guy that I trust most off the rebound and go, right? I mean, he really is aggressive in that, and I think they need that aggression, that coast to coast aggression, that kind of, hey, let's get up the floor. He's an above average passer, which again, this team desperately needs that. He does ball handling, and I do think that one of the things they miss a ton is his ball handling, because I think that's part of why the ball's sticking so much. They just don't have enough ball handling right now. Mm-hmm. And, that's a problem, and it was a problem even when Kyle was here, because, again, they just swapped ball handler for ball handler. They didn't add one, right? They just shuffled. So I still think they're going to need extra help on that end. I don't particularly trust most of the guys that they have to do that. I think Jimmy will do it and Josh can do it some, but I think you want a more full-time guy doing that along with Jaime so that you can feel more comfortable with that. But he's going to be big when they come back. And tonight was embarrassing, guys. Tonight should have been us talking about Bam embarrassing Jaren Jackson Jr. On career high.
He hates the shit out of
I love it, bro.
He's so disgusted whenever Jaren tries to do anything.
Yeah, he like if Bam was to ever start talking shit, man, I wish he would, because the whole his actions the whole game, he was talking shit in the way Bam talks shit. It was like you think this motherfucker could score? There was a point that he had 4 baskets, 1 was on Bam. He was like 1 for 10 on Bam, just he was pretty good against everybody else. As soon as Bam went off the floor, he was like, finally.
That and Miles Turner. Those are the two that man just fucking goes on.
But for some reason, I feel like he hates Jaren Jackson more just because he got the depoy.
Yeah.
From the Olympic summer
he's so fucking goofy.
He's bad.
He's inefficient.
I don't like JJ.
Weird
He's inefficient.
Bam says, I only respect one, Triple J.
Yeah, the one that's better.
Only got room for one.
The better one.
The better, bro.
Yeah, we need connectors on this team. Too many fucking ball stoppers, it feels
Honest
like.
question. Do we have other feelings about Bam tonight? Or, I know we touched on it a little bit. We spent a lot on, the Duncan Tyler thing.
Listen, I think the 4 for 13 is pretty inexcusable, and that those kinds of nights are happening more and more. Mm-hmm. I just don't think that that's okay. And I will say that his mid-range diet has shrunk a little bit, which I think is good, because I just think he was taking too many, and he's not a good enough shooter. If Durant wants to take a ton, I'm okay with that, because Durant's a really good, if a really elite mid-range shooter, if the majority of their diet is operating there, no problem with that. I just think Bam is too so of a shooter there to justify he takes some of the most in the league. That math I was not a fan of. So I've liked that he's cut down on that, but not that he's still putting up these, like I said, 4 for 13 games. And it's big dog, they need you on defense. You're fine today, but you gotta be better. And I think offensively, as a passer, he's fine. I just think everything else is fine, but he has to sort out his finishing, his scoring, and his shot selection, because they're gonna need some consistency there. Did you have something else in mind, or?
No, I just people talk about, y'all shit on Tyler all the time when Bam and Jimmy can have all of these negative ass games and people don't have as much to say. And I think that there is some to that. I don't think
No,
it's
and Alf says all the time,
disproportionately.
Bam skates,
What?
and he does.
Yeah,
Bam has been
he
skating on
does.
like
Mhm.
play a lot of nights, and
Yep.
He shouldn't have to be playing 40 minutes though, which is like
did he play
Yeah.
40 minutes?
he played 40 minutes and he was still
That's
plus three.
crazy.
Like that just goes to show that Thomas Bryant. We won't
Yeah.
do that
You
today.
don't.
But like you get what I'm getting at. Like he's doing a lot, especially now without the like with the extra need for ball handlers. Like he's even doing more in terms of playmaking. But regardless, his inefficiency, like he has the lowest effective field goal percentage he's ever had. He's like 12th percentile for a big man. Like it's bad. Like
He's
point
not a
blank.
big
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I know, I know, I know.
I'm just saying.
I know.
That's
but
where they're playing him. But like, yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. Like,
That's why some of these things look that way.
But I
Yeah.
feel with Bam, just like he was not good on offense, but he's still bringing other things on the court, and I think
Yeah.
that's what separates him from Hero. Because Hero, if he's playing like shit on offense, he's not doing anything good for us.
the old, if you're not scoring, you're snoring.
Mm.
AKA what Kendrick Nunn brought to the Miami Heat for 2 years.
Eric, I don't like what Spo said at the post game today via
What?
Alex Toledo of 5 Reasons. He's like, a breakthrough's around the corner. That's your down bad friend who's telling you, no, dog. Tomorrow, shit's looking up. It's coming. I promise. My
That's
day is
the-
coming. I don't like
That's the
that.
guy who hits on who bets on 10 pick parlays. He's like, man, I was too off, man. I promise my time is here.
Yeah,
He's like down
that's
$2,000.
exactly it. Bam said we're all trying to play the right way, and sometimes that gets us in trouble. He mentioned passing up shots. I mean, he's right.
Oh my God. It's almost like what I said for fucking the first 10 minutes.
It's almost like what you said. So hopefully they got Boston tomorrow.
Man.
Please wake up.
That's a get right game. You want to talk about the whole month not mattering if they go into Boston and they show the fuck out?
If they fucking
Yes.
go in Boston, is it in Boston?
Yeah,
No,
no, I
it's
think it's
Miami.
here. It's here.
It's here. It's
If
here.
they smack Boston and I need Bill Simmons in a tailspin. Please.
If they
Guys,
yeah.
Jimmy, look at me. Jimmy. I beg you, please. Just once. Just please. And then again against the Knicks. So twice. Like don't let us lose those. But please, I beg you. Bro. Can't.
Yep.
Rivalry week
Yep.
in the NBA.
Yeah.
Why is the Phoenix map? Some of these rivalries are Phoenix and Dallas really a rivalry because Dallas beat them one time in a playoff series? Like, what are we doing?
I guess so, man.
What are we doing?
Devin
Wasn't it kind
Booker's
of a
just-
spicy series?
It
I
was.
think it's
Luke-
more of a Booker and Doncic.
It is a Booker and Luka rivalry more than Suns Mavs, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Booker's kicking their ass today. It's 38,
Yeah.
and
Damn.
they're up by a lot.
No Kyrie though.
Yeah, what happened? He got hurt, right?
His
Yeah, you
thumb.
heard us though.
You know, I think it's been a miracle that he's just been such a not story in the league this year. And I was thinking about that yesterday. I was like, nobody said anything about Kyrie all year. Dallas
You
must-
said that.
It's almost
Dallas
like when
must be
he-
so nice.
It's almost like when he has a steady franchise around him. Like you can put up with some of the antics, almost like we've seen that here before, huh? Heat
Interesting.
fans, Jimmy Butler. Just saying. Just saying.
Hopefully, they get the win tomorrow. But we'll be here covering. Chat says Booker's overrated. I agree.
I can't say that anymore as a hater.
I don't agree.
I'm a
I
hater.
don't agree.
I do not agree.
I don't like.
I'll tell you what. Tyler wishes he was like Booker. He
Oh,
said that for instance. Shit. Look. Bring me in, G. I wish Tyler was like Booker. I do.
He's more like Lou Williams.
He's more like Lou. No,
He
Is
was
Lou
not even
Williams-
like Lou Williams. Lou
Not
Williams
even-
accepted the fucking role.
Bro,
wish
Lou
this-
Williams-
Wish Tyler was Lou Williams.
Lou Williams
he
got
was
to the
Lou
fucking
Williams-
line.
If he was
Bro.
Lou Williams or Jamal Crawford, we would be eating every night.
Lou Williams, Jamal Crawford, Jordan Clarkson, they're good in the hood. Accept the role and star in it. Damn it.
Take your
You snuck Jordan Clarkson in there.
to the bench.
Hey, he was good as a 6-man. He was he was
Jordan
averaging like
excels as a-
20.
He's
Yeah, guys.
fine. Those guys are like all-time 6 men. Come on.
It's almost like when you get a guy who can really score and like the team doesn't really need him to score with the starters, and he comes off the bench, like good things can happen. Just ask Manu Ginobili. He did it for his whole fucking career, and he was
fact.
better than Tyler Herro. Take a fucking note, please. Please
Fact.
take a fucking note.
I do. I
100%.
will say one thing, and I say this as a hater. I did think it was funny that Hero said the comment about, "Oh, the energy is going to be better," and I'm halfway through this game, and I was like, "Brother, energy looks the same,
Man.
particularly from you, big dog." That motherfucker liked my tweet and unliked it, and I was like, "Don't think I didn't see you. Don't think I didn't see you. I know. Listen, I see you,
So
dog."
Tyler, so you're telling us that the bad energy is no longer in the room with us? Got it. Cool.
The call is coming from inside the house, ladies and gentlemen. And we will see you tomorrow for
Figure
Heat
it out
Celtics.
tomorrow.
I like Tyler, by the way, guys. I like to fuck with him because it's funny. I like Hero. I think he's a good player. He seems like a nice kid. I'm pro Tyler Hero. I just don't think this is the right situation for him. But I like Tyler, and I think he's a good basketball player. And I think that we have lost the plot a little bit with the way that we talk about him sometimes. But I just don't think he's the right fit here. But I think he's a good player, and
I want him to be better because I believe he can be better.
I think he can too. I don't know if it'll happen here, but he'll do it.
Facts.
But
Oh,
That is do it for tonight, folks.
bye guys.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Buddha, I don't know what happened. My
Bye guys.
this conversation
Yeah, I had you.
click, and I got